Hello, I am Jeremy with Church of the Harvest. I'm the campus pastor here in Stillwater, Oklahoma. And today, for the next couple of weeks as well, I want to share with you some great parenting tips, some parenting styles, in fact, is what we're going to talk about today. You know, parenting, if you have children, sometimes it could overwhelm you as times. But you know what? When we look at life, it's a great joy to raise up children. And we should see the end in mind when we want to raise great kids. And so, you know what? There's different ways to parent. When we got kids, we didn't get this great book, but yet here's some great ways and ineffective ways of raising kids. So first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about ineffective ways of parenting. And first of all, the first tip, the first ineffective way of being a parent is the helicopter parent. You've seen them. You've seen them wherever you go. They're the ones that hover around, doesn't let them do anything. They do everything for them. A lot of people think they're the model parents, but at the very end of the day, the children hasn't learned to do anything on their own. And then the other one is the drill sergeant parent. They're always telling the kids what to do. They're not able to learn how to make their own choices. And so at the very end of the day, as the children are getting older, is that they're not leaders. They're not leading their homes. They're not leading their families. They're not learning how to make good decisions because they've been so used to someone making the decision for them. And so they stand around waiting for someone to make a decision. All right, we're going to share for the next couple minutes tips of raising great kids. And so one of the very first tips is schedule. You know, all the way from they're born all the way to teenage years, you want to make sure you have a great handle of their schedule. You know, whenever they're very first born, you're helping create structure for their life. You're helping, not that they're taking over your life, is that you structure their life. And as they get over into the teenage years, they're going to get signed up for so many activities. But you want to help them find out what's really number one priority in their life, maybe number one priority in your family's life, and that they're not signed up for everything, because it will not only wear themselves out, but it'll wear you out as a parent. And so we want to make sure that you have discussions, that you're scheduling time to talk about what's really important, where they're wanting to go. If they're not wanting to be a musician, then why do we have them signed up for piano lessons? If they have no ambitions to be involved in sports later on, then what are they doing playing baseball? So really finding out what they really want to do and help schedule that along the way. And that's why we want to see the end in mind in their life. And so we want to think that way. We want to schedule and not let their life dictate our lives, but yet we help schedule them along the way. And number two is a great one for us as parents, all the way from newborns all the way up, is that we help find ways, age appropriate, is we give them responsibility. And you're like, man, that's a hard thing to do. But the more responsibility that we give to them, it's proof through studies that the more responsibility a child has, the greater self-esteem they have in their own lives, because they feel accomplished of being a part of something. Even my 2-year-old is now trained and feels responsible to clean his room. You know, even last night, it was the funniest thing. Last night, we didn't have to tell him. He knew it was time to go to bed, and he cleaned up his room. And so that was a great thing to see that he feels accomplished about doing something in his life. And so for more tips, we're going to be talking about more tips next week. But for more information about this, you want to check out a great book. I highly recommend it at the local bookstore called Love and Logic. And so we'll just see you next week for some more tips.